even before the proceedings got underway this morning, William, the chair of the FTC gave an interview to Fox Business and basically came out strongly. We see Meta as a monopoly. What do you make of that, the timing of that comment and the timing of the interview?
I think he's trying to underscore the commitment of the commission to carry this case forward. There have been lots of questions raised about whether the interest of the White House in the case, the lobbying by Meta of the White House, might lead to a settlement, some action that would sell the case out. And I think what the chair is trying to do in a variety of interviews, including this morning, is to say, in his words, we're keeping our foot to the gas. We're not going to back down.
I should point out for our audience, you're a former member of the FTC and you chaired the agency between March 2008 and March 2009. You and I feel like over the years have discussed the threat of an antitrust action against Meta and others many times. And so I ask, how does this trial compare, and does it have teeth?
This does have teeth. There are formidable obstacles in the path of the FTC prevailing, obstacles that Judge Boasberg, who's trying the case, has mentioned before. But the requested relief is deadly serious, the divestiture of both Instagram and WhatsApp. The FTC has marshaled a good body of evidence, it seems, that comes in many ways right out of the files of Meta itself, the words of its senior leadership. So it's going to try the case in many ways by showing that Meta itself believed that it had market power and it believed that the acquisitions would suppress competition. Now, Meta has some good responses to this, as Riley just mentioned, but this is a deadly serious exercise for the company. And if the judge finds liability and takes the remedial path that is available to the FTC and to the judge, we could see a major divestiture that would affect the company dramatically.
A major divestiture. I mean, what are the chances of that, the odds? How do you even model for that in a trial scenario?
I suppose that if we were looking at a betting shop and we were trying to place odds, Meta would have an advantage. And the reason for the advantage is that it's going to be able to marshal arguments that we don't have market power in this market niche that the FTC has defined, that the FTC can't toss aside TikTok, YouTube, and X, and other social network providers. And that's going to be a hard hurdle to get over. So I give a modest advantage to Meta in handling the case, but a lot of the FTC's evidence is going to come right out of its files. We're going to have senior executives on the stand giving us really an unprecedented look at how the company operates. And that's what always makes trials risky and dangerous for defendants.
We're just showing again Jennifer Newstead, Meta's chief legal officer's argument over the weekend, which is exactly as you explain. Look at the traffic and audience size of TikTok and YouTube and their argument, Meta's argument, that they have a less than 30% market share. Could we just go back to where we started, which was the FTC chair on Fox Business this morning? Ahead of the election of President Trump, a lot of people looked at J.D. Vance and his attitude towards big tech. It does seem in the early stages that President Trump listens to J.D. Vance about oversight of big tech in the antitrust context. What do you make of that?
I think he is listening, and perhaps there's a predisposition to listen and listen favorably, because notice the number of occasions on which the president has suggested that were it not for decisions made by Meta, by Google in 2020, that he would have gained re-election. So I don't think he's disposed in a general way to be fond of these companies. And I think he has accepted many of the arguments that the vice president has offered to him. So there are a lot of reasons for which he might be very wary about taking a settlement that would be good for Meta here. I suspect he'll listen, but he's not ordinarily disposed to think that they are a particularly good actor.